Mic on.
Outside the road. Side the road, on the right side. Stop. Stop.
Hello. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. What's the problem, officer?
Alright, there's no problem. I just need your license, registration, insurance, please.
Okay. What the reason is the... What is the reason you stop me, officer?
Alright, the reason I stop you because you're going so slow, okay? This area for 60 miles per hour, you're going like 20 miles per hour. You're so slow. So, my question now, are you happy drinking tonight?
No. No, zero. Nothing, officer.
Alright. Alright, that's good to know. Can you please let me favor? Shoot down the engine, please.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. I need your all documentation. License, registration, insurance, please.
Gift bump.
Okay.
Thanks.
This is the part of the simulation is kind of green. And the destination should have insurance and the license.
Alright, just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Stay here. Okay, let's check the record. Hannah, holy crap. She got arrest warrant active right now for possession of fake driver license ID. What? Okay. Number the car. Registration expired. This is me, the owner. Alright, it's fine. Alright, so we got on the arrest sort here. Alright, Hannah, I need you a favor. Please step out the vehicle.
What? What's the problem?
Alright, Hannah, just
Wait up!
cooperate, please. Alright, you got active warrant, okay? You under arrest. Alright. Alright, Hannah, do you have anything on you?
No. Nothing.
Alright, don't move. I'm gonna help on you, okay? Alright, it's me. Stay in the car, okay? Just don't move. I'll be right back with you in a minute. Alright, okay. You got a small revolver in the back of me. What the heck? Alright, Hannah, you are in big trouble right now. You got a permit for that? Alright. You got a permit for that?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Hold on. You're gonna see right now what's going on. Watches. Open. Small remote. Check it out. Okay, Tivaniana Green. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, Smith. Get out of the car.
Hold up!
Alright, come with me. This way. This way. Just relax. Okay? Alright, Smith. Alright, Smith. Do you have anything to yo? Alright, turn around. I'm going to go ahead, okay?
Okay, officer. Whatever you want.
Oh. Alright, Eddie. Turn around, buddy. You're under arrest. You got possession as narcotics. You got actually you got marijuana and you're under arrest, buddy, right now. You in it? Okay. Alright. You are yell. Both of you going to jail, okay? Only correct. Let's check the vehicle. Go ahead and search the vehicle. What the fuck? Alright. Jeez. Hold on, give me a minute, I'll be right back. These guys. Alright, let's check it out. A rifle. What? What? Alright, you got a permit. Jeez, man. Come on, bro. Get out of my way. Run away, bro. Jesus. Alright, this person need a tow truck. Large tow truck, please.
Tow truck.
I got 2
Assistance
doors.
required in Grande Sonora Desert.
Sport car. It's like, I think this is, what the heck? I don't know. Aston Martin, probably. Alright, there we go. They got it. Oh, it's over there. Alright, partner. Come over here. Get in the car. Alright, we go to jail. Thinking we're going to St. George. It's night. I'm tired already. Folks, what the hell?
Somebody there order 20 pieces.
Where you guys go? Holy crap. I'll be with you in a minute, Mary. Got a customer, bro.
20 pieces.
I gotta go. We are busy right now.
This ain't happening.
Oh, see, huh? Get in the car.
William Boyd, Adam O'Henry, 5 George, 5 Boyd, Nora, 5 2 5
All right. Your partner, get in the car. Oh, somebody there. Alright, we see you already. Yo, hello. ID, please.
Appreciate it.
Alright, hold on. Give me just a minute.
Mic off.
Flum. Thanks.
Mic on.
All right, Rachel. Give me just a minute, okay? I'll be right back. Just a minute. All right.
Okay, officer.
All right. Okay, let's check that record. All right. Checking it right here. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, Archer. I'm just gonna give you a ticket tonight for public violation, innocent conduct. Okay, innocent conduct. So, please, this is the ticket. Take it, please.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, Rochelle. Gonna give you just a little warning right now. I don't want to see you here again, like do the same thing, okay? Just please leave the area. Yeah, I don't want to see you here again. Okay? That's it, Rachel. You're free to go.
All right, off you go.
All right. Let's go, partner. In the car.
Nice driving, shithead.
Someone, I copy your code 4. Go with your studio.
It looks like we're good after the from 500 to 600 is going to be our out. Everything after that will be normal. West side of the street, 700 and 600.
Mm-hmm.
Confirm those are out as well. Copy that.
You see the motorcycle there? You have the motorcycle with the helmet? We'll go for it.
Driver, what are you doing? Why are you trying to meet on the road? Keep going. On side the road. Side the road, driver. Alright, stop right there. Stop.
Myself and Town 29 are just inside Mountain 5 by Lindy Grill.
Yo.
33-year-old friend walking down the street tonight, saw her being pulled out the night, went on the line with the mother.
Yo, come on. Brandon, get in the car. What are you waiting for? Come on, dude. Holy crap. Damn it. Oh, shoot. Oh, what the heck? He's over there. I can lose her. I know he's over there. I will find it. I will find it. I know he's there. My car is so fast. Here we go. He's over there. Holy. Shit, I lose him. What the fuck? Well,
we've got units requesting helicopter support. Over.
yes, I
Sandy
need
Shores.
a unit.
Assistance required in, Sandy Shores. Respond code 3.
Roger that. We're on our way.
Oh, shit.
Dispatch, this is Eagle
We lose
7.
him.
Closing on the location, over.
Nah, it's too late, buddy. What the fuck? I'm gonna stop over here.
Nolia number 10, boyfriend, girlfriend, verbal.
Mm-hmm.
We will find you, scumbag. I'm gonna hunt you down.
Should I get the door?
Citizens report a shootout in, western Alamance.
Airport, copy call.
Assistance required in the Grande Sonora Desert.
5897. 458.
Backup required.
Hmm.
Grande Sonora Desert.
Mm-hmm. What? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Motorcycles here. I think he leave the motorcycle here. Maybe he's crashed. Probably. Dispatch request vehicle motorcycle check. License plate
Target
27
vehicle license plate.
David
27
Queen
David Queen George,
George
624.
624.
Target is 10-4.
Alright, target less than 4, but I think the guy we looking for he's dropping him for sure. But no, let's go check. Search the vehicle.
I'm here with LA Unified School Boys.
Mm-hmm. See? Marijuana. Mm-hmm. Alright. Mm-hmm.
Assistance required in the Alamo Sea.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
No way!
What? Get out of the car.
I'm gonna eat your LSPD! Gotcha!
I'm getting that.
Respect the law, mother. Get in the ground. See? This is happening when you
Don't you hold it! Move!
get on the ground.
Fucked up!
Get on the ground.
Hell. Can't we talk it out? Don't shoot!
All of you.
Real Americans, we care! Help me, Jesus! Get laid here!
Mm-hmm. Yo, where you going?
That's crazy. On
That on the floor.
Jesus!
On the floor. Right now.
Place is gone to shit. God damn it!
All of you guys stop. Don't habla Guinea. I'm gonna arrest you.
611, this is the fire permit for traffic control at Speedway Road.
Assistance required in, the Alamo Sea.
Dick tickler. This is way insane.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
611, 10-4, 611, 1022.
What's happening? I'm gonna stop that. Traffic? Let me move this car. Ay, chill. Alright, I got a person down. Dispatch. Got a person that need an ambulance right now.
Ambulance. Assistance required in the Alamo Sea.
Let's see, I'm gonna try to help this guy.
Please, well.
Lincoln 12, are you by the North Street parking structure?
Please, well, I'm in the third level parking structure between Nordstrom and Main Street.
For which are...
I'm really need to Vice City.
Yeah? Holy crap. What? He there? Damn it.
Please, 12, and he...
Guys,
Assistance
wait.
required in
Wait.
the Alamo
Vamos. Alright, I'm gonna what? Alright, I'm gonna stop over here in this car. Yeah, truck.
Flatbed. Assistance required in the Alamo Sea.
Truck for this one too.
Assistance required in
Hello.
the Alamo Sea.
Alright, partner. In the car. Let's go. Right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, we're on Fashion, but I'm not sure if it's, the street you're talking about.
10-4, and your unit number?
Hawthorne, 5 Lincoln, 2 David.
10-4, Hawthorne, 5 Lincoln, 2 David.
Mm-hmm.
I'll recall.
Mm-hmm.
Engine 92, rescue 94, shortness of breath 25535 Hawthorne Boulevard, Sunrise, Peaceful Living, 4th floor, map page 191.
Mm. Look at this girl over here. Hello.
Wow! Hold up!
All right.
I remember the route because he also stated that she's possibly having a panic attack and difficulty breathing.
Ay, de usted. Pues con nada.
Was there another unit of traffic? 16 dead.
All right. Ladies, I need your ID, please.
26 out of 30.
Gift lump.
22.
Thanks.
All right, Kay. Give me a minute. All right. I need your ID.
Gift lump. Appreciate it.
Kay, what the heck? Okay.
White Toyota Camry.
All right, give me just a minute, all right? I'll be right back. Shut up. All right, man. I don't know why you idiot don't pass me. Fuck, I'm gonna park her out of the road. This guy is an idiot, completely idiot.
Space is clear, and we are going to be heading for the CP.
10-4 Macy's is clear.
Completely idiot. Let's check the K Bear and K Bear, K Johnson. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start with K Johnson. I'm gonna give it a ticket. In this one. I'm gonna start with that. I am gonna turn out the lights. Alright, Kate. I'm gonna give you a ticket. This is Kate. Ticket for indecent conduct on public. So, do you have anything on you? No. Okay, I'm gonna help down you. Okay, if everything okay, you clear. You're free to go. Okay, but okay, turn around. First of all, I'm help down you. Alright. Well. Tura, you're under arrest
You ain't never getting out of
for
prison.
possession of narcotics, okay? And the revolver is yours. Come with me. You got a permit for the revolver? I'll check it out right now, don't worry. We got a small revolver. Check it out. Oh, okay. All right, okay. You got a revolver. It's fine. But anyway, you go to jail for possession of narcotics. Okay, so Give me a minute, Kate. I'll be right back with you. I'll be right back with you. Just a minute. Yeah, this is Kate Bear.
Lincoln 21.
I'm gonna do the
Before.
freaking same ticket. Yeah.
21 and 24. Respond to the
All right.
northwest driveway.
Okay, same thing. You got a ticket for
LASD unit.
indecent sports on public. Okay, so same thing. You got anything there on you? Turn around. I'm gonna go ahead and put on you. Okay.
Lincoln 1 Miracle Floor 139 30
What you got? Okay. All right. Okay, you clear. But now, this is a warning. Okay. This is a warning. A ticket, but a warning too. This is a verbal warning. Okay, verbal warning. Warning. Alright, don't come back again. I don't want to see you here again. Like, you know, do the same thing. Cause next time I'm gonna arrest you. Okay. So for now, you're free to go. Go home.
All right, off you go. Why me?
Alright, I'm gonna go dry around here. I don't want to see you in another corner. Okay. Out of here. Alright. Alright, get out of the car. I'm gonna call that transport. This bus, I need that patient transportation, please.
In the Alamo Sea.
Mic off.
Appreciate it.
Time 33 is 514 north. 32, thank you. Tab 33 running the male half RO of the transient call. No wants, no firearms registered. Set 32 for me, thank you. Verbal only. Email checks okay. Never fine. We can route to next King 9.
611 tip fire.
Mic on.
Okay. In the car, buddy. Let's go to patrol. Look at this guy. Same thing, no helmet. Now I put a helmet. No, it's too late, buddy. What? Come on, buddy. Get in the car. It's too late.
Driver, try to roll. Get out the highway. Alright. Keep going. A little bit more. Stop. That was fine. Just stay right there.
Alright, man. Alright, man. The reason was that you gonna have the helmet, and I saw when you put it on, we stop you, okay? So, first of all, shoot down the engine. Thank you. Alright. Second one. Get out the bike, please. Out the bike. Alright. Perfect.
Wait up!
Come on, just follow me this way. Over here, please. Over here. Yeah, right here. Thank you. Alright, I need your ID.
Gift lump. Thanks.
Alright, George. Alright, do me a favor, please. Sit on the ground. Thank you, Josh. Give me a minute. I'll be right back in a minute. Okay. Alright, record. Okay. Okay. That for now. Right there. Bike with a helmet. Alright. Okay, Josh. Get up, please. Stand up. Alright, this is the ticket. Alright. For riding a bike without helmet, okay? But now I give you a chance to leave, but I need you put the helmet on, okay? If you don't put it on, I'm gonna stop you and I'm gonna arrest you, and then the motorcycle is gonna be in front, okay? So you understand what I say? All right. Okay. You're free to go.
Go on! Get fucked!
Just put there we go. Put your helmet on. Right. Bye. See these people. Come on, partner. Right. All right. Well, okay. Holy.
Stand by for roll call.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have it. Would you like to 21 it? From the first place, call. Or should I give you who the location? 1049 Adam 30 at the TP, 29 Adam 31, you're 20.
31, we're roving, clearing the structures.
10-4 roving in the structure, 29 Adam 33. Adam 34, what is your 20?
They're 3316 Carson.
10-4 Railroad 3316 Carson. Torrance 29 Adam 36, you're 20.
36, Lifestyle Wing, Restaurant, Road.
10-4 Lifestyle Wing Restaurant. Torrance 29 Adam 38, you're 20.
Okay, I think he got no helmet. All these people don't put a helmet on. I don't know why.
Torrance 29 Lincoln 11, you're 20.
Oh, sh-
You're 20.
oh, come on, bro.
Take it 12, third level, northwest corner, AMC.
10-4 third level, northwest corner, AMC. Torrance 29 Lincoln 13. Lincoln 13.
Okay, he smell a narcotic. Okay, let's check it out.
Can you send out your 20, please?
All right, man.
Second floor.
Shoot on that engine.
10-4 second floor of what location? Infinite Fish Line second floor.
All right, man. You smell like a strong. I don't want to call. Are you drinking tonight?
15, what is your 20?
No.
15,
There the bike, please.
For a post small lane entrance. Torrance
Wow!
Lincoln
Hold up!
Come over here.
This ain't happening.
the rear of you, see with security, gonna have to make contact with the subject.
All right, over here. I'm gonna have to do some Texas, okay? First of all, horizontal guys. Come on, let's do it.
Officer Mark here, what is your 20?
16 CP.
10-4 16 is at the CP. Torrance 29 Lincoln 19.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our next one.
100 miles away. With
Mm-hmm. Okay.
10-4, passenger, Delano Circle East. Towards the 9 Lincoln 26.
The last one.
26 at the crime scene.
10-4, 26 at the crime scene. Towards the 9 Lincoln 28.
Okay.
28, lifestyle wing.
10-4, 9 Lincoln 28 at the lifestyle wing. Towards the 9 Met 1.
All right.
You're under arrest, you piece
Two around.
10-4, just inside entrance 5.
Right, you got anything, yo? Go ahead, pandaño, man.
9J1 out of the lifestyle wing.
10-4, 9J1 out the lifestyle wing. Towards the 9J2.
Mic off.
J2, you are unreadable to 9. 10-4, 9J2 at the CP. Towards the 9 Tom 29.
29 on that one, just inside Mall 5.
10-4, just inside Mall 5. Towards to Motor 12.
Order 12.
What is your 20? Come for me in Passion Way, and what is your cross?
The northwest driveway of Nordstrom.
10-4, we're leaving Renato. Towards to Motor 7, what is your 20?
Motor 7's up all night.
10-4, Motor 7 out at
Mic
Mall 9.
on.
Towards to Motor 13.
Okay.
Towards to 9 Met 1.
Hold on. I forgot.
That one, just inside entrance 5.
All right, pat down here again, please.
We're just inside entrance 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
9J1 out of the lifestyle wing.
10-4, 9J1 out the lifestyle wing.
Just push any that person in clarification, please.
Grande Sonora Desert.
And let's go and search that vehicle.
You are unreadable to 9.
Okay.
10-4, 9J2. Assistance required in Grande Sonora Desert.
Hello.
Hello.
Jackass!
What is your 20? Come for me in Passion Way, and what is your cross?
Mm-hmm.
The northwest driveway of Nordstrom.
10-4, we're leaving Renato. Towards to Motor 7, what is your 20?
Motor 7's up all night.
10-4, Motor 7 out at Mall 9. Towards to Motor 13.
Thank you.
Lifestyle wing.
10-4, Motor 13 out at the lifestyle wing. Towards to 9 Paul 1, what is your 20?
901 on Manhattan, just south of, north of Fashion Way.
10-4, Amy north of Fashion. Towards to 9 Paul 2.
Lieutenant Carson and Delano Circle East.
10-4, Carson and Delamo Circle East. Towards to 9 Paul 4. Confirming you're at the CP. Towards to 9 David 34.
Yo, what are you doing? Relax. George. shoot down the engine right now. What?
David 34 approved. 10-4.
Suspect running.
47.
What? Yo,
247.
holy crap.
we got eyes on the perp.
You wanted to hang out, right?
247 in route.
No.
10-4 in route to the PD. Towards the 90 to 48. Inside the mall. North on Crimson Express and Lifestyle Wing.
Where is he? Stop running. How old are you? Stop running. Alright. Get on the ground. Cooperate. Get on the ground. Hey, partner. Got him. Yeah. Oh, coming. Come on, get in the car. Goodbye. Where is the car? Right there. Okay. Special need suspect transportation, please. Suspect is custody. I need to search the vehicle. Mm-hmm.
9 Victor 85, confirming RTCP.
Tow truck. Assistance required in Sandy Shores.
All right. Oh, sheriff's here.
C5, I'm at the CP.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't worth the fucking steam off my piss.
Thank you.
Sweet Jesus!
All complete.
All right, partner. Get in the car.
Charles 25, I'm at the Lifestyle Wing Restaurant Road.
Dying.
Charles 25.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Handle the DVR at Garnett Street, been holding 3 hours.
Oh, look at that.
Fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah? Where are you going?
Stop! Police!
Not running. I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna test you. Don't running. Not running. I told you. I'm gonna test you. Alright, put your hands up right now. Now you're in big trouble. Get on the ground. On the ground. Don't move. Alright, now you're under arrest. For resisting to what? Investigating? Okay, let's go. Where you running, man? Come on, partner. Get in the car.
One copy.
Alright, take it by myself.
From this could be the 20-year-old.
Mm.
Building up my vacation time. I've got a lot now. Couldn't agree more.
10 for.
I think I'm gonna buy a
Mm-hmm.
retirement place now and rent it. Interest rates are low, low, low.
Yeah, tell me about it.
1402 Rosecrans.
Hey, you know I was having a party later.
Mm. Holy ground. Mm.
One time when I've done your part. Copy.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the handcuff, okay? Don't move. Alright. Enjoy the vacation. Oh yeah, take it easy, man. Ya me llené. Thank you, bebé. Eso estaba haciendo algo fresquito. Mhm.
For item 50.
Somewhere else. Screw it! I warned you!
13 minutes.
Clear.
That's 9 minutes. Go ahead.
To Mary Edwards Ball, 398 Brady.
Alright, partner.
Take Edward 13 Redondo back.
Go screw yourself!
Go screw yourself.
Owner of the Ford Focus, engine name 569. It looks like the other convertible, quarter rear bumpers.
We're down to 613. 613. Response to Belmont in interest. 13 for possibly 92.
Hmm.
Negative. I need you to 21 Sid Harris at a number I have it for you.
Go ahead.
310-908-9326.
Yeah, sorry, what was the last four?
9326.
Okay, I lost my target. What? Okay, something happened to this car. Look at that. What the heck?
13 parking on 2314 Robinson.
I can't stop because
Attention all units. Suspect lost.
Driver, bring your vehicle over now. And side road. Driver, side road. Driver, side road.
okay, you know this is going.
33.
Alright, get out of the car right now. Put your hands up.
Here, now!
On the ground. Get on the ground.
You moron.
Don't resist. Get on the ground. Just on the ground right now.
We'll be clear. No report. And show us back.
Alright, you're on the wrist.
Call. Use 911 with forensics. Follow it.
We've got 7, Adam, 15. Possible in Pillbox Hill.
Alright, hold on. Let me finish this.
Respond code 3.
Dispatch, I need prisoner transportation. I got a suspect in custody.
Grande Sonora Desert.
Alright, don't move, buddy. You got anything on you? Mm-hmm. On your knee. Don't move.
613.
Okay.
Flatbed. Assistance required in Grande Sonora Desert.
Okay.
13 10-4.
Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Dickhead!
Have a good night. Alright. I'm gonna go. Oh my god. You crazy, bro. Alright, so what the heck? Jesus. It's over here.
Learn to drive.
And my cap, idiot. Is right here. Holy. Just fire, just fire.
Backup required in, Pillbox Hill. All units, code 4. No further units required.
I'm reloading!
William, David, Charles, George, 4. Edward,
Alright. Holy crap.
Union, 0.
Officer down, officer down.
10-4, 1-18.
Charles, Tom, George, 4.
Officer down, officer down.
10-4, copy.
Mm.
1-18.
And fire is notified to respond with
Officer down, officer down.
10-4, copy that.
Mm.
1-18.
I need a EMS, I got an officer down.
10-4, copy. 1-18.
I need ambulance.
10-4, copy that. 1-18.
You crazy.
Ambulance. Assistance required in Pillbox Hill.
Alright, doing something.
Assistance required in Pillbox Hill.
Fucking way!
Okay, good. He's still alive. Alright, perfect. This is this is the card of the officer. I'm gonna call a chunk check.
Tow truck. Assistance required in, Pillbox Hill.
Alright, man.
Thanks.
You're free to go. Let's go. Dismiss. It's raining. Scuba out for sure. Oh, Ligra. Bro. Come on, lady. Seriously. ¿Qué? Oh. A ver. Más rato. No. Hello.
Officer, I got a weapon.
Alright, so you got a weapon, okay. That's fine. Alright, maybe you shoot down the engine, please. Thank you. I'm not gonna tell you step out of the vehicle right now because it's raining. But I need a whole documentation, please.
Get bumped.
Thank you, officer. Yes, please.
Alright. Okay, just sit there for me, please. I'll be right back. Holy crap. Okay, license suspended. Let's check the car record. Car record's fine. It's clear. So I'm gonna create a license suspended. Alright. Arrest for her for license suspended. Alright. This person need backup because I need prisoner transportation. Alright, yes.
This is David Charles 12.
I just need to step out of the vehicle, please. Thank you.
Wait up!
Alright. Alright, turn around, you're under arrest.
Out of prison.
You have license suspended, and that's the reason I arrest you, okay? Sorry for that. Alright, don't move, I'm gonna help on you. Holy crap, okay. Alright, you got a card too? Alright. Alright, buddy, can you please take this guy to the for me, please? Thanks. I'm gonna search the vehicle. What the fuck? What? What? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Alright. Hey. That was a great jump. Oh my god, it's raining. Oh. Alright, I'm out of here. So I'm gonna go right. I gotta go back to the highway. Oh my goodness, it's raining. It's too strong right now. Oh wow! Are you kidding me? Stop! Oh my goodness, it's so raining. Look at the sky. Ooh. Oh shoot! What? What?
Mic off.
You can't hide, boy! We will track you down!
Guys, and we've got a great program coming up tonight. We're talking about the best police scanners of 2023. So we're going to talk about the various models that are out there, how they're beneficial, and what may be the best scanner for you. So I'm going to kind of give you the pluses on all these radios, and then you can decide which fits into the mold that you need. So it's really an awesome show tonight. This is the first time we've ever did one of these best police scanner shows. So I'm going to be basically giving my recommendations, and of course, you know, everybody will have different opinions about each radio. I'm going to try to be honest and truthful about each one of these models that we talk about tonight. So sit back and relax, and let's start the show. So let's take a look at tonight's slide deck. So of course tonight we're talking about the best police scanners for 2023. As always, we want to remind you to follow, like, and subscribe to us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at The Scanner Guys. Check out the website as well, thescannerguyshow.com. Shop our store, contact us, and also sign up for our newsletter. We don't often send a newsletter all the time, but we do periodically, so definitely sign up there. We don't sell your information to anybody, so basically when you sign up for our newsletter, your information will be safe and secure. And of course, shopping our store certainly helps to benefit us to be able to improve equipment, pay for our streaming service, and of course our web hosting as well. So your support certainly helps us and goes a long way. If you haven't already and you're watching us for the first time, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. That is where our broadcast takes place each and every other Saturday, the second and fourth Saturday of each month. So definitely, I say Saturday? Wednesday. Sorry, I have the weekend on the brain. So, I don't know why I said Saturday. And then, of course, that needs to be updated. But Train Aficionado Live, we're going to have another show Wednesday, April the 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So we're looking forward to having you guys watch Train Aficionado Live. So that'll be coming up next week. So let's take a look at our presentation tonight. We're talking about the best scanners for 2023. So many of you that watch this show all the time know we talk about the Uniden Bearcat BC125AT all the time. That radio that's over to my to my left? Yeah, to my left there on the screen. The 125AT is what we've coined as the transportation scanner. It works great on rail, aviation, maritime, and then if you go to a NASCAR race periodically, it's great for that as well. A little bit of background about the 125AT. It's a 500 channel scanner. It's a bank driven scanner. So it has 10 banks, basically 50 channels per bank. It is simple to program. The only time it gets a little tricky to program is those alpha tags. You can pretty much program a frequency relatively quickly. It's menu driven when programming, and basically you're going to put in an alpha tag in there by using the knob and scrolling through the alphabet, and then basically using the 6 button to advance to the next character. So this radio is certainly a great radio. It's analog only. So if you're in an area where they're still using analog, VHF, UHF, this is still a decent radio for you. But for the most part, if you're a hobbyist of rail, aviation, maritime, this is a great radio. It's not going to break the bank. Averages about $130. It is programmable by hand. It's also programmable by software. Uniden does have a free software available, and also Butel has a software available for programming this radio. I can't say enough about it. It is one of my favorite radios. Matter of fact, I have my 125AT here. I got the carrying case on it, and as I talked about during the Train Aficionado live shows, I have a VHF antenna on here, which is made by Smiley Antenna. Works really well on the rail band. And then, of course, you know, as many of you watch these shows, I always promote a carrying case. It protects your investment, even at this radio being about $130. You want to protect the investment. Also, it's got a really nice heavy-duty belt clip, swivel-off belt clip, as you can see here. The other thing, too, it's a BNC adapter at the top. It's got the single knob, which is multifunction, which is squelch, volume, and selection. Your programming slash power jack is over here on the side of the radio. Basically, it's a USB, so it's using that wall wart, USB wall wart, and that same cable can be used for programming. Most of today's radios that we're talking about have a USB cable, which is used for dual purposes, for powering and also programming. As you can see here, it's got the slick, small body, you know, so it's easy to fit in your shirt pocket, and it works really well. I really can't say enough about the 125 AT. As Joe Bearcat mentioned, still not discontinued. Certainly a great scanner. I can't say enough about it. I'm a super fan of it. Every time I go out rail fanning, that's the radio of choice. You know, I do have an SDS 100. I do have the 436, a 536, and a TRX-1. You know, so I have a wide variety of portable radios, but that's my go-to for rail fanning. Now, this radio is overlooked. It's the Uniden Bearcat BC365 CRS. Yet again, if you're a hobbyist and you are in a great spot by an airport or by your active railroad line and you got tons of radio activity, this is a great desktop radio for those types of things. Of course, if you do have the ability to monitor some analog public safety, this radio will be good for that as well. It doesn't do trunking. It's strictly analog. It's your more traditional radio, desktop, nice big volume knob, nice big squelch knob. It also serves as alarm clock as well, but basically it's a really decent desktop radio. Not terribly expensive. You're looking at about $120 some odd, $130 depending on where you're shopping. Works really well. But yet again, I would probably gear this towards the aviation enthusiast, the maritime person, or the rail fan, because it's going to be analog strictly. This is going to give you the ability to kind of give your portable radio a rest and be able to use this, and of course it's got power via the AC adapter. Yes, of course, Joe Bearcat mentions the CRS. We don't know what the definition of that was. That was something that Paul Obitz came up with for this particular radio. So it certainly works great for this. There's a gentleman that I actually listens to the scanner all the time that I know here in Cincinnati, in Glendale. He's got the 125 AT, and I'm thinking, boy, this would be a great addition, because he literally lives off the railroad tracks. He's got the perfect view of the railroad tracks. He looks out his window. He's got his 125 AT sitting in the window, so he could probably put one of these in and then run this radio too, which would be really cool. And of course, it's got a large memory with yet again 500 channels, 50 channels per bank. It's a bank-driven scanner. The difference in between the 125 AT and this radio doesn't have the alpha tag display. It's strictly frequency display. The 125 AT has the alpha tag display. The other thing with this particular radio, it is keypad only programming, so you're not able to program it via software. So this one you're definitely programming through the keypad, so it's a little bit more work, where the portable radio has the the ability to program it through software. Yes, this is one of those desktop radios that actually has a clock and an alarm. So Uniden made over the last several years different models of this particular radio. This is the current model, basically analog. All right, let's move up. So the Whistler TRX, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Whistler WS1040 and 1065. So these radios are analog and they also do digital, but they only do phase 1 digital. So if you're in an area where they're just using phase 1 digital, you're in luck. This should work. But if they're using phase 2, these radios are out of the question. So this radio may actually be pretty good for some people, but keep in mind, if you're monitoring a trunk system that's phase 1, eventually they could go to phase 2, which means that any talk groups that are using phase 2, these two radios will not work. I really wish that Whistler would come out with an updated 1040 and 1065 with phase 2 capability, because I feel like there is a lot of love for these radios. Basically, they were an object-orientated programming where you could program a talk group or a frequency and share it amongst multiple scan lists. So basically, you're assigning that object to a scan list. So let's say scan list 1, you've got a particular talk group that's stored there, and then you want to put that same talk group in scan list 3 amongst other talk groups or other channels. You could do that with this radio. So it's object orientated. The other thing too is this radio is of course supported by Butel software. So you're able to program it via Butel software. The radio is a little bit easier to program manually than the Uniden radios, I would say, like the 996 and the 325. The 996 and the 325 have a dynamic allocated memory system, you know, the onion, where you're going to peel out the levels. With this radio, basically your programming in is a little bit more simple. Once you have the trunking system structure in place, you program in those talk groups. But conventional frequencies is a lot easier. Kind of is best way I can describe it when you're programming it. It's almost doing like a test, filling in the blanks. You know, assigning a scan list to that particular conventional channel, and then assigning, you know, where it's going to be, an alpha tag, and so on and so forth. So this radio, I could field program this relatively easy if it wasn't involving trunking. Trunking, of course, I could do it, but it takes a little bit more time. This radio was a huge hit back in the day when it was GRE, and this actually became the Whistler 1065 and 1040 when Whistler took it over. So if you remember back in the day, the GRE PSR 500 and 600, that's basically this radio with a new outer shell color and a new name on the radio, Whistler. Also, the other thing that's really neat about these radios is they have the activity light. As you can see above on the base mobile, the touchpad, that little blue is an activity light, which you can program for the various colors, so you can associate blue with police, red fire, and so forth and so on. And then if you look at the portable radio, you're going to see it just above the screen, just below the knob. Now the knob on this radio is basically a two-layered knob. On both the base mobile and the portable, the upper knob is the volume, the lower knob is the squelch. So it's a little different than the Uniden radio where it's a multi-function knob. This is basically a layered knob. Basically the top knob is allowed to give you, you know, adjustment for volume. The lower knob is the squelch. Let's continue on and take a look at our next level. Speaking of the devils, they're not the devils, but, you know, speaking of the radios we were just mentioning, the 325 and the 996P2. So this radio has kind of gone along with updates. So if those of you remember the original 996, you know, went from the T to the XT to the P2. Now what's the difference? The P2 is able to handle phase 1 and phase 2 digital. So it's able to handle both, which is great. So if you're in the area where there's a trunking system that has phase 1 and phase 2 talk groups, both of these radios will do the job. Now the next thing that these radios have that the Whistlers don't is it has a couple of different more digital formats. We've got DMR, Pro Voice, and NXDN. They both NXDN and DMR are supported in both conventional and trunking. The TRX1 and 2, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, only support those two formats conventionally. So keep that in mind. So these two radios will of course support it in conventional and trunk. So that's DMR and NXDN, and of course it supports Pro Voice. Now Pro Voice is an older digital format which is basically going away, but there's still systems out there. If you've heard of the MBTA's trunk system out in Boston, they're running Pro Voice. There's a few other systems that are out there that are using Pro Voice as well. Now, these radios offer GPS scanning as well, which we're going to be talking about in our next Scanner Guys show. We're going to be talking about, doing that road trip for 2023. We're going to talk about GPS scanning, but these radios support GPS scanning. The other thing with these radios, they're what we call clean slate scanners. So there's nothing programmed into these radios. So essentially, you need to program it for the areas in which you want to monitor. Now you notice that the portable, the 325P2, looks very similar to a radio that we just shown. It is just the same body style as the 125AT. Big difference, it's able to do digital, and it has a larger price tag. Still has that BNC connector on the top and that multifunction knob on the top as well. The 996P2, same thing on the back. It's got a BNC connection, and it also has two audio out jacks. The first audio out jack is a record jack, which is great for recording radio transmissions. It basically has a steady volume. And it's great for if you're setting up a radio feed. Let's say you're setting up a radio feed on Broadcastify, you can use a record jack, and then that works independent from the internal speaker, or if you put an external speaker on the external speaker jack, you can turn the volume up or down. It's not going to have any effect on the record jack whatsoever. These radios are probably fairly new still. I don't imagine they're going to go away. They certainly have their place. A lot of people prefer the clean slate scanner. As I mentioned, dynamic allocated memory system, so it's got that onion where it's a layered type of programming where you have a system, a group, system group, and then the channel. So basically it's 3 levels into the onion. So basically you're setting up those levels. And of course I said it supports GPS scanning. So let's take a look further out. Home Patrol 2. Will we see a Home Patrol 3? That is to be determined. Now this was originally, the Home Patrol 1 was the first radio that came out in the series, and this was the cutting edge radio that supported zip code based programming. So of course, the Home Patrol 1 retired, and then Uniden came out with the Home Patrol 2. Now the Home Patrol 2 supports Phase 1 and Phase 2 digital. You see a common thread here? A lot of Uniden radios were upgraded to be able to support Phase 1 and Phase 2. Now this radio, you're pretty much out of luck if you're looking for DMR, Pro Voice, or NextEdge. This radio does not support the paid upgrades. I'm not too sure if I mentioned, with the 996 and the 325, Pro Voice, DMR, and NextEdge are paid upgrades. So you basically buy what you need. So if you don't ever going to use those paid upgrades, then you don't need them. It doesn't cost you any additional money out of the pocket. But it certainly is an option on that radio. Now with this one, it's not an option. What I imagine may happen when the Home Patrol 3 comes out, I would say those paid options would be available in this form factor. And the other thing I'm wondering if Uniden will basically take the SDS type of smart scanner and apply that technology into here, so it's sensitive and it supports simulcast. But for now, let's talk about the Home Patrol 2. This is a great scanner if you're traveling or living out of a suitcase. Let's say you're traveling from hotel to hotel. This radio is nice and small, compact. You can fit in a suitcase. You can set up in your hotel room, listen to the local action. You can either program a favorites list using the Sentinel software, or you can just punch in a zip code, and away the radio will go. It'll select those channels that are local to that area, and you can just start listening. The other way that I would recommend using this is if you've got a camper, such as an RV or a trailer, and you frequent campgrounds and you're traveling. This is another great radio. Small, compact footprint, doesn't take up a lot of room. The other cool thing, it's got a touchscreen display. Now, a lot of older customers, when I was working over at Scanner Master, really loved the appeal of the large screen. One, they're able to see clearly on the screen, and they're able to navigate with ease with the touchscreen display. Tonight, this will be the only radio that's in the lineup that actually has a touchscreen display. It has a fairly large screen as well. It's just as large as the SDS 200, but the 200 is not a touchscreen by any means. So this is certainly a great radio for the traveler or someone that's, an RVer or a camper looking for a radio to use when they're out and about. So I would certainly recommend this to the traveler, but keep in mind DMR Pro Voice and NextEdge, you're out of luck with this radio. But it does support Phase 1 and Phase 2 digital. The other great thing about it, it's a base mobile factor, but you can plug it into an AC adapter and power it that way, or you can power it off the batteries inside, either using AA rechargeable batteries or alkaline batteries, if you wish. Getting to the TRX 1 and 2. So, these radios are Whistler's latest and greatest. We haven't heard anything from Whistler as of recent. So the TRX 1 and 2 are their latest and greatest. Now, of course, GRE was going to release radios like this, and eventually, it switched over ownership to Whistler. So the Whistler TRX 1, small compact radio, comes with a rubber case and a backplate, which you have different colors to select from. The software is primarily the Whistler software, so you do not have any other option for software. You either use the Whistler software or nothing at all. It is a zip code based scanner, so you're able to program it via zip code. And you would create scan lists versus favorites lists on this radio. It supports Phase 1 and Phase 2 digital. It also is able to do NXDN and DMR conventional only. So any of those trunking systems you see out there for DMR or NXDN, these radios will not do that. It'll only receive conventional. Now, the big thing that people have been asking about for the Uniden radios is a remote head. The Whistler TRX2 has a remote head. As you can see, the image that we use there, that basically will come off as a release button, and it's magnetic to staying there, so it's kind of double protected so it doesn't pop off. It's got a release button, and also it's magnetic on there. You can pull that off, mount that somewhere, put the radio underneath the seat or something. It's just bringing up the remote controlled head It's not bringing up the speaker audio. So if you wanted to put this in the trunk, you would need to run a speaker from the trunk to the front along with a remote head. Certainly a great radio. There's a huge following for these two radios. So some of those people that are out there that prefer the Whistler type of setup, they go with this radio. Simulcast, it's not the best on simulcast, but if you know what you're doing, you may be able to manipulate the radio with a certain antenna setup or adjusting the squelch to be able to reduce down the simulcast woes with this radio. Whistler has done a pretty decent job with digital sound quality. It seems to work really well. I've noticed on the handheld radio, it does have a smaller speaker. The analog sound can be a little bit low volume on there, but the digital comes out crisp and clear. So if you're monitoring a lot of analog with the handheld, you may be satisfied with it. I found that it was a little bit low volume. Overall, great radio. I would highly recommend it to anybody, but this is a little bit different from the Uniden style radio. So if you're gonna jump over from Uniden to Whistler, prepare yourself to learn a different setup, and the software, people love it or hate it. So just keep that in mind as well. Some people find that the software is complicated. Some people find that the software is easy. Unfortunately, you have to make your own judgment on that. But if you're looking for a radio with a remote head, this is certainly a great option. Keep in mind that the radios do not support GPS scanning. It does have the full database in there, so you're going to have to be switching scanless if you're using this as your road trip scanner. So keep that in mind as well. Hopping over to a fan favorite of mine is the Uniden Bearcat BC 436 and 536 HP. 536 HP, I'm certainly a fan of them. As you can see here, works really well. I actually have one of these in my truck, and I find that it works well. It does do okay on simulcast. It's not perfect. When I'm traveling around in my truck, I do run into a little bit of simulcast, but the thing is I'm a moving target. So as I'm moving around, simulcast is going to improve or maybe get worse depending on where I'm at, but it's always going to keep changing the signal just because I'm a moving target. Yet again, database driven scanners. So basically you can program it in by zip code or creating a favorites list. For this particular radio, heavily on the favorites list. Use the favorites list all the time. I use the Sentinel software for programming, and I also use the Butel software when necessary. So with the Sentinel software, those of you that are not familiar, that's the free software that's available for these particular radios that are on the page. You're able to update the internal database, you're updating the firmware, and of course you have the ability to create favorites lists, which is great, and also edit those favorites lists. These radios have robust memories, so you can create as many favorites lists as you could dream of. Basically, both of these radios have an SD card inside them. On the base mobile, you can see it right there on the screen, basically to the right of the channel button, just below the keypad. On the portable, it's basically behind the battery compartment. Now keep in mind there's a little metal hatch. Be super gentle if you are pulling the SD card out of that radio and putting that SD card into a reader. You have to be careful, gentle with it when you're pulling the SD card out and then putting it back in. Same thing with on the base mobile. You want to be gentle sliding in it. Make sure you pay attention to how it ejects out so you're able to eject it back in. So some of the advantages of the Butel software over the Sentinel software for the 436 and 536 or any of the Uniden radios that use Sentinel have an equivalent of the software. So big advantage is if you rather just program your radio as if it's any other radio that you've had in the past and you love Butel software. It's going to have the same look and feel. It's not going to be like Sentinel software. It's basically going to have that same look and feel if you've had several radios over the years that you programmed with Butel software. The other thing I would recommend for the Butel software, if you're doing a lot of custom programming, so let's say you're programming things that are not in the radio reference database. Let's say it's a trunking system or a business system, or you're wanting to do a custom layout of the programming. I would say it's a lot easier using the Butel software than it is in the Sentinel software. So that's one of the big advantages. The other thing too, when you're using the Butel software and you want to import in information in, you're going to have a paid subscription to Radio Reference, where when you're using the Sentinel software, you have the Radio Reference database built into it without a subscription. So basically you're going through the programming, you're highlighting what you want, right-clicking, and then appending to a favorites list. So there's a lot of great things about that. The other thing too, as many of you are mentioning, any of these radios that you're looking at tonight, if you're purchasing them through ScannerMaster, they actually have programming services for all of these radios. So if you plan on purchasing one of these radios, you can certainly check them out. There's an affiliate link down below in the description on YouTube that you can use that helps us out purchasing a scanner through them. You can certainly purchase it with programming as well. And let's say you already own these radios. The other thing you can do is you can purchase an SD card pre-programmed. It's a high-endurance SD card that you can purchase through ScannerMaster. You basically tell them a make or model of the radio, and then you basically tell them what counties you want programmed on there, and they'll program it up for you. And then they're shipping you an SD card. You essentially replace that SD card in your scanner, and then not only do they create the favorites list, they update the internal database on the scanner, and they also add the latest and greatest firmware as well. So when you get that SD card, your scanner is going to power up. It's going to check the folder for firmware, and it's going to say, oh, there's an update here. It'll load it into the radio, and then you'll start scanning immediately, which is really nice. So 436, 536 do support GPS scanning, just like the 996 and the 325 P2. Major difference here is it's a database scanner. So if you do use GPS scanning, you can use the full database and not have to program in all the areas in which you want to monitor. So basically it's going to look at that database. Embedded in the database is a lat long and radiuses for each item in the database. So it's going to look at that, it's going to figure out where you're at in the country, and it's basically going to look at your lat long, and it's going to turn things on and off as you travel, as you kind of leave one area and then enter the other. Now the way I use the radios is I want to have as much programming customization as possible. So what I do is I create a favorites list, enable GPS scanning on that favorites list. So I'm hand picking things that I want to monitor, and then basically when I enable GPS scanning, it's going to look at that favorites list, read lat and long from each one of those things I have programmed in there, and see where I'm at, lat and long, and turn things on and off as I travel. So let's say you only want to hear the towns that are along your route versus, some towns that the circle may overlap. You'll just hear those towns along the route. The other thing too that somebody asked about using the Butel software, you can kind of customize that lat and long and radiuses for programming as well with that particular software. A lot easier than you can in the Sentinel software. Of course, the handheld radio does support USB. It does take regular AA batteries or rechargeable batteries. Great question. All right, so the 436 and 536 do support DMR, NextEdge, and Pro Voice. Just like, did we cover it? Yeah, the 996 and the 325 P2. Now, Scanner Master charges a fee. I don't remember what it is at this point, but they do charge a fee and they'll do the upgrade for you. If you already own this radio, basically what you do is you register the radio through Unidon's website, and you will have the ability to purchase DMR, NextEdge, or ProVoice. Now, it's a little bit cheaper doing it through Unidon's website because you're not paying someone to do it. Basically, you're doing it yourself. So if you do it that way, you're going to go into the menu button and then go into settings, and then you're going to have an option for upgrades. So when you purchase that key, essentially, Unidon's going to send you a key, and then you're going to enter that into the radio using the scroll knob and basically entering each one of those keys into the radio. So if you purchase, DMR, ProVoice, and NextEdge, you're going to end up purchasing 3 keys. Now, if you sell the radio or do anything, retire the radio, don't use it anymore, you can't transfer that key to a different radio. It's married to that particular radio. Basically, that key is purchased for that serial number of that particular radio. So you can't transfer it from one radio to another. So if you go to sell this, let's say you sell this radio and you end up getting a different radio, make sure you put in the ad, this has the DMR, ProVoice, or NextEdge upgrade. You can get some extra money for that because those are paid upgrades. So once you've sold it, those keys now belong to that radio and of course to that new owner. So yes. As for prices, I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to guess on there. I know Scanner Master, when you do it through them, there's like an installation fee because somebody's doing the work for you. But if you do it yourself, you're paying directly to Unidon, whatever their fee is without the installation. It's relatively simple. Basically, you're going to go into these radios, go into the menu button, settings, and then upgrades. And then select the upgrade, and then you enter in the key. Once that key is entered, then that particular digital format would be enabled. So you'd be able to program a DMR or an NXDN conventional channel or trunking system, and it will be able to decode it. Alright, so we're at the STS 100 and 200, which we talk about a lot. These radios are the cream of the crop. They're able to do really well on simulcast. They are the more expensive radios, what I call the Cadillacs of Unidon. Of course, the handheld and the base mobile. The base mobile has got that huge color screen. And then it's also a larger form factor. If you haven't seen this radio in person, if you remember the old 780 XLT made by Unidon, it's almost the same size. The handheld is a full-size radio versus the 125 AT. So this is the 125 AT. I'll pull off my... So you can see here, there's the SDS 100, and there is my 125 AT. So you can see there's quite a size difference. This is a more compact radio. This is your full-size portable radio here. Of course, yet again, protect your investment. I always recommend a carrying case. This is no different. You're spending about $650 on the radio. Spend an extra couple bucks and get a carrying case to protect it. Now, the major difference is, for years, Unidon basically went from AA rechargeable batteries for the batteries, or you can use alkaline. They've gone back to a battery pack. So this radio has a battery pack. So now you can't just throw in AA batteries, you have to use their battery pack. So the larger battery pack will last anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, depending on your usage, how loud the volume how loud you have the volume up. If you've got the backlight on all the time, of course that's going to suck down your batteries relatively quickly. These radios both support GPS scanning. The other thing, the radios also have paid upgrades. DMR, ProVoice, NextEdge are all paid upgrades. on these particular radios. Same thing as all the other Uniden radios, but out of the box, just like all the other radios, this supports phase 1 and phase 2 P25 digital. So it's able to support both phases. But yeah, I mean, the 200 certainly has that look and feel like it has a touchscreen display. I mean, it's big enough, but it doesn't have a touchscreen display. There's still some mystery things on that particular radio, especially on the 200. There is the mystery USB-A jack, which we haven't determined what that's for. There's a micro USB connection on the rear of the radio, which we don't know what that's for. And and it does support GPS on both of these radios. And of course, you can program it by zip code or creating a favorites list. So of course, you have the ability to program it in that fashion. So these radios are certainly the cream of the crop. Their biggest claim to fame, simulcast. Work really well on simulcast. They basically handle it really well. I was talking to a couple of people during my past rail fanning class at the Cincinnati Railroad Club on this Saturday, and they were asking me, should I get an SDS 100 for rail fanning? I said, as of right now, railroads are not moving to NXDN anytime soon. If any railroads are on NXDN, basically it's for the yards or it's a short line. It's pretty much contained. But as for, investing $650, the radio is basically made as a top performer digital. It works well on analog, but I would say if you're monitoring strictly analog, I would still say look at an analog radio. If you're doing rail fanning, you're looking for a portable, rather than spending $650, I would say invest $130. And then of course you can get a cool antenna, get the carrying case, and of course if you love rechargeable batteries, a couple packs of rechargeable batteries and a external battery charger, and you'll still be a lot less money than the SDS 100. Don't get me wrong, the SDS 100 and 200 work really well. So if you're in an environment where it's entirely digital, these radios will work great in digital. As for right now, a lot of questions that we get: when will the prices ever lower? The thing with these radios, I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory. So when I was working at Scannermaster, the competition was always undercutting us. Maybe one of our competing smaller companies undercutting us price-wise, or it was the big box store, Amazon, was undercutting us. So when Uniden came out with these radios, they basically said, we want a fair playing field. So we're going to set up map pricing for these radios. So, people are not losing their shirt. I mean, especially, with Amazon being able to price it whatever they want. Basically, Amazon, with certain products, they make a ton of profit on others. And on other products, they don't make a ton of profit because they're making it elsewhere. So they're able to kind of put this at the lowest price and then make money elsewhere. For the mom and pop companies such as Scannermaster and the other competitors, they don't have that, luxury of being able to sell it at cost or near cost. So basically, Uniden said, we want to play even playing field. So these radios are basically have map pricing. So as of right now, you're not going to see the price drop on these radios until Uniden basically says, you can drop this price down to X amount of dollars. So that's the story, long and short of it, with these particular radios. So as of right now, you're going to see, of course, the SDS 200 right around $700, and then of course the portable around $650. So that's the story as of right now. This radio here is not a scanner per se, but this was the answer for simulcast before the SDSs came out. Still an awesome radio. I would highly recommend it if you're just monitoring a trunk system and you're looking for a small compact radio to monitor. This radio here is the Unication G5. Works really well. It does have a hefty price tag, but it certainly is going to work and have the feel of an actual two-way radio. So up on the top there you have a stubby antenna going from the left to the right, and then the knob that's over to the right is basically a group selector. So basically you can have talk groups programmed into one group, and then more talk groups programmed into another, and so forth and so forth. So you can basically scroll within those groups and have different programming settings for each one of those. So you can, let's say you were in Ohio. So let's say group 1 is all of the talk groups for Cincinnati, police and fire. You move further north, you go up to Hamilton, Ohio. You have in there all the channels for Hamilton, police and fire, and that may be in group 2. Maybe you have group 3 for the highway patrol in a particular area, and then so on and so forth. So you're able to program in multiple areas just by using that, and it'll just scan that particular group. It has the look and feel of the two-way radio. The software definitely has the look and the feel of a two-way radio programming. Unication has made it a little bit easier. If you have a radio reference subscription, you can import in systems from Radio Reference, which makes it a lot easier than a whole lot of typing. Of course, this radio supports a battery as well. It lasts a long time. I mean, for the most part, I was able to take my Unication radio out multiple times and not have to charge it, for at least a couple of days. So this radio certainly works well in the simulcast as well. There's no GPS support there. And so if you're leaning towards GPS scanning, I would highly recommend doing something like that. I know there's a lot of questions. I got to get to those. So those are kind of the best radios. So I kind of gave you, the information that you needed to kind of make an educated guess on which radio that's going to work best. Of course, we started out at the lower level of radios, and then we continued up, to the higher level. The one radio I neglected to mention is the BCT-15X. That radio is still a great analog trunking scanner, great for rail fans if you're looking for a base mobile form factor radio. It works great, a little bit more complicated to program because it's got the dynamic allocated memory system on it. So it's the onion, you gotta peel the levels, create a system, create a group, and then, put in the channels. But yeah, it's certainly a great radio. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, so sit back and relax. We've got a couple of questions. I'm trying to decide if getting into scanning is worth it. Okay. Encryption, the big E. Basically that question that I'm looking at my other screen is mentioning the big E, encryption. Now it depends on your area. There's a lot more encryption in certain areas than others, especially on the law enforcement side. Now, if you're in an area where the law enforcement's encrypted, but the fire department and EMS are not, you still can get a grasp of what's going on in your community, because a lot of times the police and fire will roll on the same scene, especially if there's a medical or something going on, an accident. So you can still get some of the story on the law enforcement on the fire side of things. You're going to know about accidents that have occurred, of course fires, and then any medical emergency. So you're going to be able to hear all that still on the fire end of things. There may be some other channels that are being used as interoperability channels, so occasionally you might hear police on there, but it's basically location, 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 depending on whether or not it's worth the investment of a scanner, depending on how much encryption is there at that particular location. If you're looking to monitor, like emergencies, disasters, and things like that, you may find that there may be interrupt channels when those things happen, and those channels may not have encryption. So when the crap hits the fan, to put it lightly, they may be using channels that you may be able to hear. But yet again, you have to decide how much you want to invest on a scanner that you may occasionally hear law enforcement. Those channels may be in the clear. When the disaster happens, you'll hear their communication. Of course, once the disaster goes away, they'll go back to using their encrypted channels. So that's kind of a decision you have to decide on what you want to do. Basically, Radio Reference gives you the tool or the guide to be able to see how many channels are encrypted and decide from there. Okay, Whistler 1040. Kevin asked about, will it pick up law enforcement? Well, that all depends on what they're using for communication. If they're using P25 conventional or P25 phase 1 trunking, yes, it will work as long as you have it programmed properly. If they're using phase 2 trunking, DMR trunking, it will not work. It's not able to decode phase 2. So if it's phase 1 or conventional P25, yes. If they're using DMR or Pro Voice, no. So it's all about what you're trying to listen to. So yes, tonight we talked about kind of the best scanners, which are pretty much all the scanners that are available today. Each one of these are going to be the best scanner for you depending on what you're looking to do with the scanner and what you're looking to monitor with the scanner. So what may be the best scanner for me may be not the best scanner for you. And of course it all bases on, type of scanner that's needed for the job, and then of course your budget. What can you afford? I mean, that's the huge thing. I can't stress enough that these scanners are investments. They're not cheap whatsoever. I totally hear you. It's not something very cheap at all. Scott is asking about, he has the 325P2. So it looks like his P25 is 325P2. Basically, the memory completely went blank. I haven't had that happen to me at all. I know with older radios, there used to be like a battery inside there. That battery would go dead. It would wipe out the memory, and then you would have to reprogram it again. If you let that radio sit for a long period of time, typically with the modern radios, I don't see this happening. There may be a memory issue in there. What I would recommend doing is reprogramming the radio with software. The good thing about programming with software is you save the file on the computer, so you're not having to redo the work all over again. Now, once you program it through software, if it does it again, then you're going to have to probably send it in for unit and repair. There's clearly a memory issue with the radio if it's not retaining its programming. But typically, I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had any issue with any memory issues on my 125AT or my 325 or the 996P2. So if it doesn't retain it, you're going to have to send it for unit and repair. There's something wrong with the memory. This is a great question that we get all the time, and I believe, Matt, you're kind of referring to the base mobile versus the portable, I think. So we get this question all the time. When I was working at Scanner Master full-time, which I don't work there full-time anymore, the question I would always ask is, do I get a base mobile or a portable? Okay. So I always ask the question to them after they ask me the question. I say, where are you going to be listening to this? Are you going to be listening to this at your desk, at your house? Are you going to be wanting to move this scanner from, your office to the living room to maybe out in the patio, taking it with you in the car? And then usually a lot of times I would get a lot of information from the customer. At that point, they would say, no, I'm basically going to listen to it in my office space. So I would typically recommend, if you're going to keep it in one spot, then I would say a base mobile would be perfect. You're not having to move it about. A portable radio is for that other person. I'm going to listen to it here. I'm going to go out to the living room. I'm going to listen to it in the patio. I may bring it with me in the car to listen to. Yeah, portable is going to be your best option. A lot of people, when they make their first purchase of a scanner, typically go with a portable radio because they want the ability to bring it from one spot to another. The other issue is if you're prone to power outages. Now, base mobile typically will only run off, wall power, essentially. It's got to plug into the wall and run off of that. A portable radio can, of course, run off of wall power, and it can also run off of batteries. It can either run off rechargeable batteries or alkaline batteries, depending on the model. If you've got the SDS and you're prone to power failures, you're going to need a couple of these. The other thing that you can purchase, which I don't have one of them in front of me, is one of those power banks that you use for your cell phone. You can plug that in and power your SDS as well. So you have the ability to use one of those power banks. And of course, once these are drained and that power bank is drained, then you don't have any more options. With a radio like this, where it takes AA rechargeable batteries, you can use the rechargeable batteries and then go to Best Buy, or not Best Buy, one of the big box stores, the club box stores, such as BJ's, Costco, or Sam's, and buy the 48 pack of alkaline batteries. Here is one of those power banks. So basically, what you can do is typically, yeah, it's right here. It shows the little dots. How many bars, until the batteries are dead on here. So basically, you would plug in that portable radio's USB cable into here, and then it would power the radio using this, which is really great. So if you're in an area where it's prone to power failures, of course, stock up on batteries, alkaline batteries if you can. If you're using an SDS, you may want to invest into one of these. So once your batteries are exhausted, having multiples of these, you may want to use this as well. So certainly a lot of options. Let me see, is there any other questions? I think we grabbed the vast majority of the questions, and I know Joe Bearcat has been frantically typing to many of our audience members, answering some questions. Dale Osborne brings up a good point, and I don't want to forget this. So let me go back to the 536. So the 536 actually has a Wi-Fi dongle that you can connect up to the rear of the radio, and this makes it a little unique. You can actually download the Siren app to your phone, and you have the ability to looks like somebody signed up for the newsletter. Thank you so much for signing up. I just got that notification. So basically you set up a Wi-Fi dongle on this particular radio, and you're able to connect to it through the Siren app within your Wi-Fi network. So basically you set up on the 536, connection to the Wi-Fi network that you're under, and then this will act as a remote head within your Wi-Fi network. So you're able to control the scanner from the app and also listen to the scanner from the app. The other thing that you can do from the vehicle is you can make that Wi-Fi dongle its own hotspot. So basically your phone will then communicate directly to the Wi-Fi dongle without a wireless network. So really cool feature that you can take advantage with the 536. Some people like it, some people don't, but I figured to share that. We actually did a whole show on the app and how to set it all up, so which is really neat. Okay, so I So the 15X is still a relevant radio. I just left it off the basically the slide deck. But yeah, I would certainly recommend it. As for the lower level radio, the 30C, which is a step below the 125 AT, I've left it off. Be honest with you, spend the extra $30 on the radio and you get alpha tagging. You also get alpha tagging and PL tones, and digital PL tones with the 125 AT. So the 125 AT, I would say you spend a little bit more over the 30C and you get a little bit more radio. Not that the 30C is a bad radio. I would say, you know, like if you're looking to, you know, to get PL tones and alpha tagging, I would say the 125 AT is the best one. Any other questions? I'll answer those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple of slides and then we will wrap up the show, but I'll see if there's any other questions there. It looks like another notification for the newsletter. Thank you so much for signing up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and do that right now before you forget. And also subscribe to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram as well. Make sure you do that. Let me, I gotta get my slides positioned where they need to be. I rolled back, so of course, you know, it changed the lineup of the slides. So we want to remind you that tonight's broadcast was, you know, the best scanners of 2023. Of course, I gave you kind of some information on each radio. The best scanner is basically the one that best suits your needs, essentially. So hopefully, you know, with the information I provided for each model, you're able to kind of make a better educated guess of what scanner would fit your needs. So you want to make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe to our social media. And as always, the Scanner Guys are brought to you by viewers like you. You make this show happen. In between purchasing stuff through our Scanner Guys store on our website, scannerguyshow.com, we've got some really cool hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, travel mugs. You can purchase it through our website. And also using the affiliate link in the description below to Scanner Master. You purchasing something using the affiliate link, we get a little bit of the sale, which is great, and that certainly helps us out. So definitely continue doing that. You know, of course, we use professional streaming software for this broadcast, so we're streaming at 4K on YouTube. And then, of course, we have hosting fees for the website and some other costs that come along the way. Train Aficionado Live is going to be back with you next week. That is Wednesday, the 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, so hopefully you join us for that. And then, of course, the Scanner Guys will be back with you on the 26th, which is the final Wednesday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at The Scanner Guys. Check out the website, thescannerguyshow.com. You can shop our store, contact us, and of course, as many of you are doing right now, as my phone continues to get alerts, sign up for our newsletter. We really, really appreciate it, and we thank you. If you like the video, certainly give us a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate that as well. Dale basically hits the nail right on the head here. He basically says, you know, you need to do your homework before you purchase your scanner, because, you know, that's going to dictate what type of scanner you need. And of course, you know, if you're traveling to other areas, you need to also see if that scanner is capable of monitoring those systems. So that dictates what scanner you need. So of course, you know, the cheapest scanner may not be the best scanner for you. It all depends on what you're looking to monitor, and then that's basically how it works. And then there are tricks and tips for simulcast issues. So if you can't afford the Cadillacs of Uniden, the SDS 100 or 200, or the Unication G5, you know, you can do something with maybe the 996 or the 325 or the 436 or 536, or even with that Home Patrol 2. You may be able to do some tricks or tips to be able to do that. Thank you so much to everyone that's commented tonight. I tried to read most of all your comments. Hopefully I got to everybody's question this evening. Yeah, the G5 is certainly a great radio. It is more like a two-way radio programming-wise. And it's great for, you know, if you're strictly monitoring one particular trunk system. You want something small and compact. It's certainly a great radio. But it's not a scanner. It's more like a pager, I would say. It fits in that pager category, but you can monitor it like a scanner. Does not program like a scanner. It's a lot different. You'll see if you do that. So, thank you so much for everyone joining us this evening. I greatly appreciate everyone that's joined us for the broadcast. If you're watching this after the live post, certainly post your comments down below. I'll be happy to read those as well. Certainly give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I believe the next video is on the channel, so make sure you sign up for a notification for when we go live with that video, which will be a couple Wednesdays from now on the 26th on the channel. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Jonathan Higgins. Be safe out there. We'll catch you again on Train Aficionado Live next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday we'll be back with the Scanner Guys. So have a great evening. I'm Jonathan Higgins. Have a good night. Good evening, I'm Jonathan Higgins.
And I'm Rich Carlson.
And we're the Scanner Guys. If this is the first time watching the broadcast, welcome, welcome. This is a big topic that everybody loves to talk about, Rich. And it's, what is it?
SDS.
And
those wonderful letters.
Yeah, the SDS 100 and 200. We get tons of calls about those radios. People ask a lot of questions. It's still a huge thing in the radio reference forums as a topic of discussion.
Absolutely, for good and bad. And they, you know, it is probably the most popular scanner that has ever come out. And it's going on 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, it was, what was it, 2018? We were at Dayton announcing the SDS 100.
Yep.
And that was a big deal. I remember that we had the privilege of announcing that radio, and just all the people that came to the booth. And
I mean, we had the very first ones that people could put their hands on and they could see, and we're doing videos out of it and stuff like that. We had such a great time with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the coolest thing, you know, the SDSs, and we're going to talk about them at great length this evening. So sit back, relax. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to try to get to everybody's questions. If you have questions and they pertain to what we're talking about, we'll try to flash them up on the screen. Any questions that are, you know, other than what we're talking about, we'll try to answer it in the second half. We're going to try to get to everybody's question. There's going to be a lot of people watching tonight, so let's dive into the topic of discussion right now, which of course is the Uniden Bearcat SDS 100 and 200. And let's go to the next slide here. Just a reminder, we tell you each and every week, Rich, what do we tell them to do right now?
Click that subscribe button. Do it now.
Yep. Click that subscribe button. You're watching us on YouTube. Do
and
that right.
Select notifications, the bell.
Yes. And then also, check us out on our other social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're across the board, Rich, when it comes to social media. So definitely do that. Check out our website, thescannerguys.weebly.com. Thescannerguys@weebly.com. So that's going to be that's going to be a good place to check out our website, learn a little bit more about the Scanner Guys as well. And guess what, Rich? As you're getting notifications on your phone, you could be getting a notification for our email. We do have a newsletter you can check out. Sign up for the Scanner Guys newsletter, thescannerguys.weebly.com. If you're on the list, you got an email today telling you a little bit more about the show to tune in. We also gave you some links to the SDS 100 and 200 so you could purchase those. And we also have some links to our past shows in case you missed them.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a long time now, and there's a lot of videos to catch up on if you're a newcomer, like Brighton. Yeah.
And we've had a lot of good shows this season in the 2021 season. And you know, some really good shows. And the great thing about it, if you're a first-time watcher, we cover the main topic in the first half, and the second topic, Rich calls it Romper Room, when everybody asks questions. So the thing is if you rewatch a broadcast, the meat potatoes is right in the beginning, so you can watch that portion of it, and then you can decide whether or not you want to watch the Romper Room segment, but the good stuff is right in the beginning. So let's dive into the next slide. Some big news. We've been talking about this, Rich, for how long?
Been over a year.
Yeah, so Bearcat Joe announced himself on Radio Reference. This was big news buzzing through Radio Reference that we have a Uniden scanner product manager, which is good, and those are big shoes to fill, right, Rich?
Oh yeah. Paul was an amazing guy. Having met him several times and dealt with him a lot, a great guy. There's just, you can't say enough good things, about the guy. And when he died about a year or so ago, he left some huge shoes. And now Joe Bearcat is taking over, and we know Joe, and he will do a good job at it. And he will be all over the social media on Radio Reference, especially, and the other social media outlets, email lists, and everything else like that.
Yeah. So Bearcat Joe, welcome. From what we understand, he is a fan of the show and he watches often. So as soon as he's available, we're going to have him on as a guest. We've already been in communication with him already to get him on, so we're looking forward to that. The great thing about that is we'll be able to talk to him about everything, the various things that we have going on, in the scanner world. He can share with us the information he's able to. And plus, you were mentioning about, getting new firmware for the 125 AT, which is a big thing.
Yeah, this was actually a very important thing, and he asked us specifically to mention this tonight. If you've got a 125 AT, there's a different version of the 125. Functionally, it's identical. What happens is that since the radio's been being made for quite a while, there's some new hardware pieces inside the radio because other, certain chips or parts were unavailable, so they had to use newer ones that were available. And because of that, they had to update the firmware for that particular version of the radio. And the problem is that firmware only works on the newer version of those radios and won't work on the older version of the radios, and some people had some issues with that. So that is being addressed through the version update program, and Joe is going to have more information about that as as he starts getting his feet wet with this new job.
Well, this is very, very exciting, to be able to have somebody at the helm now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one comment there. If it wasn't for Paul, we may have not have seen the SDS radios.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really spearheaded a lot of the big innovations over the last several decades with Uniden, from the Home Patrol, which is the first original zip code based scanner, and still to this day the only scanner with a touchscreen display.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that nobody else has picked up on that and that they haven't come out with more of them. But that is, it's actually a very huge thing. When that first came out, I was like, I don't know. But now I use them all the time. They're great.
Yeah, and I have the Home Patrol 1 and 2, and I love it. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show tonight. So it's the SDS 100 and 200 frequent asked questions. Now these are questions that we get from people all the time. Plus we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of the radios as well. What's the big deal with these radios? I mean, a lot of people, say, why should I upgrade? And there's many, many reasons we're going to show you tonight. And here are those reasons, the big, big reasons. Rich, tell us about the first bullet point.
All right, these are the very first radios called True IQ scanners, and they were designed specifically around an SDR, a software-defined radio, which allows a lot more control of the inner workings of the radio by computers and or firmware. So new features and new behaviors can be determined by the firmware versus the hardware. You don't need to add new filters or new this or new that to make it do new things. It's basically update the firmware and it will totally change the behavior of the radio. It's the first portable and or desktop scanner that has that.
Yeah, and the radio is a little bit lighter hardware wise.
Yeah.
Because it's not having so many chips and components inside, because it's doing this all via software more than anything. And like you said, you've opened the SDS 200 and found there's a lot of room.
Yeah, there's a lot of open space in there. One of the things I do is I love to peek inside the radio, and I'll take pictures of it so that I don't have to open it up again. I can just refer back to my pictures. And I do like seeing the insides of the radios. I mean, I even took apart my GPS unit just to see what was in it, And there is a lot of room in there. They could have made the box quite a bit smaller, but they left the height would have had to stay higher to accommodate that large display.
And that's probably the main reason why is they wanted to give you a beefy screen. And that's a huge factor with these radios. Both of them, the handheld and the base unit, have a decent sized screen. It's a full color display. Yeah.
That's sign language for color.
So the other thing that we're both used to at this point, and most of you, is zip code based scanning and favorites lists. So that really wasn't something new on the SDS 100 and 200, but the biggest thing, biggest problem solver with the SDS 100 and 200 is simulcast.
Yep, you betcha. There is nothing better than an SDS on simulcast when it comes to scanners.
And the simulcast has been a huge issue. Many of these trunk systems have just grown all across the country, and they have simulcast systems, and it raises havoc with the scanner, which we're going to show in the next slide. Simulcast sites share the same exact frequency sets at each tower. All the traffic is identical to the frequency at each tower, and each tower transmits the same site ID. Guess what happens with the radio, Rich?
Ooh, it gets all confused. So the what happens is all these signals get to your radio at slightly different times because one site is real close and the other site is really far away, and there's another site that's kind of over there someplace, and it takes a little bit extra time for the sites that are really far away to hit your radio, and it's just long enough for the ones and the zeros, being that it's digital, it's all just ones and zeros, and the ones from site A mix up with the zeros from site B, and then you throw site C into the mix and the radio just goes blah.
Yeah, and that's where we get a lot of that. You know, you've got full bars on the radio,
yeah,
and then you get the bloop, 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 or dropouts completely. It's
or
just,
you'll see the signal strength going like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to, perfect example, I have a 536 here in the studio. I can use my 536 here in the studio and monitor the trunk system down in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm getting it so good, I'm so far away from that simulcast system, it doesn't get confused by the other towers. You and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And that's the reasoning behind it. I'm so far away from it, it's not getting confused by the other towers. You look at this site map here. So if I was dead in the center of that map, there's going to be a lot of radio confusion right in the middle of it, right?
Oh yeah, because you're getting sites, you're getting all 5 sites hitting your radio at the same time, but they're slightly different distances away from you. So all those ones and zeros are getting in there at slightly different times. And regular RF type scanners with the RF circuitry inside them can't process that simulcast particularly well. And unless you're in a specific location, or you can kind of force your radio to pick up one site and one site only, the radio is going to be, starting to miss conversations, miss words, miss entire phrases, or just throw up its hand and say, "Forget it, I'm not even going to try."
It's like I give up. That's information overload for me.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done. But yeah, this is the big core reason, and that's why prior to the STSs, you saw Unication pagers started to take off because somebody figured out it would be a good scanner component. That is good at the simulcast, but the thing with Unication pagers, it could